Alright, so we are at episode 198 of the Attitude Era series. I can't count. I said last one's 196 when it was actually 197. Raw has beaten Nitro 93 times, and Nitro beating us 38 times. The last 31 shows now have had an 88 rating or better. Last episode was an 89 that was on SmackDown. I'm going to review SmackDown, and it's about an hour after I recorded the last episode. I was watching Yes Man, the Jim Carrey movie. Last Jim Carrey movie I really liked, and that was before I lost all respect for Jim Carrey, learning he was anti-vaccination. But on SmackDown, we had Triple H announce his first title defense is against Scotty 2 Hottie. Just to be cocky. He thinks it's cute. I think his first title defense in his his first official reign was against Scotty 2 Hottie. The Marvelous Ones faced the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys got DQ'd, and they used, ladders and chairs against the Marvelous Ones and beat them, used chairs to beat up the Marvelous Ones, DQing them. So Taz defeated Crash Holly in singles action that was not for the title, hardcore title. And then Val Venus wants new challengers for his Intercontinental Championship after defeating D'Lo Brown. And then Shane comes out and says, "You want a new challenger? Well, WWF signed this guy, Kurt Angle, won a gold medal 3 years ago, and he will be debuting at Survivor Series against Val Venus for the Intercontinental title." I figured, what a better way to debut Kurt Angle, better than having him face Shawn Stasiak. We had Owen Hart take on Matt Bloom, the Un-Americans. Post-match, Owen Hart's backstage after his victory. Mark Henry comes up to him. Him and Owen shake hands, embrace, and Mark says, "Owen, you and your family have done a lot for me, and becoming a wrestler, I have your back." Now, that's in real life. Bret Hart is almost credited as training Mark Henry. He polished him up as a wrestler, and when Mark Henry was a rookie. So we're using that as an opportunity to ally Mark and Owen. Following that, we see Rabid Dog defeat Edge and Christian. Kurt Angle hype package. Chris Jericho defeated Billy Kidman in throwaway. Triple H defeated Scotty 2 Hottie in an 80 rating match. Lowest Triple H's, probably one of his lowest of his career as a main eventer, but Scotty 2 Hottie's probably the best match. Post-match, Triple H beating down Scotty 2 Hottie, and Rikishi makes the save. And then our main event, Eddie Guerrero defeated Chris Candido following a roll-up and holding tights. He lies, he cheats, he steals. SmackDown overall, really good show, really happy with it. And, it took me 3 minutes to record that when it takes me, 6 or 7 to record the whole episode live. So, overall, I really enjoyed it. No Stone Cold there, which I think is interesting. No Rock, no Taker, no Mankind. Just pretty much Triple H. So, let's get it started. Here we have Stone Cold Steve Austin come out and say he has a rematch clause that he put in his contract, and he will be going on against Triple H for the title one last time. This is the start of the rematch clause era, start of the rematch clause being an existing thing, which is dumb, but I like it. It makes sense, and it works. Here, after Stone Cold announced that, Stephanie McMahon comes out and says, "You know what, Austin? You're not going to have that easy. Tonight you're facing Chris Jericho in the main event." Yes, Stone Cold and Chris Jericho have bad chemistry in facing each other, but I needed a main event, and it's leading to the story with Stone Cold. Chris Jericho's main eventer. They're still going to have a pretty damn good match. Following that, we go to tag action where Owen Hart and Mark Henry versus Un-Americans. Owen Hart and Mark Henry get the victory on the Un-Americans. This is their first time teaming up, but Owen's a main event star. Mark Henry is a future 7 years down the line. Oh, God, that's so long once you think about it. But he's a future star, and then we have two mid-carders for life, basically. Mark Henry's basically a mid-carder for life once he had that main event run. But in-game wise, Lance Storm's a main eventer in the making. Owen Hart is a main eventer right now. Mark Henry has signs of being a main eventer. Matt Bloom's a good brawler, so forth. But this is just Owen Hart getting his vengeance against Un-Americans, trying to get to William Regal. Following that, we go to, Rabbit Dog come out and they challenge X-Pac and Kane to a match. They say X-Pac and Kane, you guys are now the top dogs of the tag division, but you're still not the leaders of the tag division. That is us. We have dominated tag division ever since we decided to, which is embellishing a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my levels right now. It says I'm low. I have the audio multiplied, so if it's not loud enough, I'm sorry. I'm using one of those headphones that are you get with your phone. My Turtle Beach is broke, so I can't use those right now. But back to this. Rabbit Dog challenges X-Pac and Kane to a title match. Here we see video hyping Kurt Angle's debut. This was using his overness. Last one was using entertainment. So, we're going to go back to entertainment, overness, so forth. Really looking forward to Kurt Angle debut. Following that, we see Crash Holly versus Chavo Guerrero. And this is the first hardcore title change. Chavo Guerrero defeats Crash Holly following Taz interference. It's a whole bunch of scuttlebutt. Now Chavo Guerrero is our hardcore champion. He's not. It's just a way to let people know, wow, you could lose this title against anyone at any given time. Chavo's going to face someone. Maybe he loses it at someone. He maybe loses to faces. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going forward. It gives Chavo something to do. It gives Crash Holly something to do. And it keeps Taz relevant. Following out, where we go backstage with Godfather with the hose when Lance Storm, William Regal, Un-Americans come and beat the shit out of Godfather. Way to get heat after losing to Owen Hart and Mark Henry. And further creates the tension and conflict with Mark Henry and Un-Americans. Here we see, Goldust is in the ring when Edge and Christian come out and insult him. Just back and forth insulting. This is just done to, plant seeds for future stuff and to have a fun little storyline. We're leaving this Edge and Christian going to the goofier Edge and Christian. This is like the start of that. And very good rating. Following that, we go The Rock and Abyss, where The Rock defeats Abyss when Abyss is disqualified and Undertaker ran in and attacked The Rock. This leads to Mick Foley come down, saving The Rock from the beatdown. And this is the Rock and Sox connection last go around. They will be, you obviously can see where I'm going with this. And really enjoying the Rock and Sock connection. Really, I don't know how I've been booking Rock compared to real life, but I think I'm doing, well, as I hope, as well as God, I can't talk. That's what happens when I record. I talk too much. Alright, following that, we go to tag action. X-Pac and Kane versus Acolytes. X-Pac and Kane pick up the victory. A little bit of a disappointing match. Acolytes are a losing streak of sorts. They're still in the ministry. When Undertaker is having a promo, they're there behind them. It's just their muscles right now. They don't have to be stars of the tag division. Just it's weird. It's like you can see, I'm grooming guys in my head for future runs. Like Mark Henry, I'm grooming for a future run. Bradshaw, I'm grooming for a future run. Who else? Lance Storm, grooming for a future run. Chavo being Un-Americans is grooming for him to, I don't know, I don't see Chavo going past mid-card. Bad example. Bloom was at first grooming for a future run, but I don't see him past mid-card really. It's not going to be A-Train and Big Show versus Undertaker WrestleMania 19. You know what I mean? Marvelous Ones are backstage on the Hardys. Attack them. This leads to a brawl. They're brawling backstage, and it's separated by agents. Now this is a Hardy Boy showing passion, showing fire, and Marvelous Ones staying in a relevant storyline. Following that, we get to our main event, which is still pretty damn good considering they don't have good chemistry. Stone Cold defeats Chris Jericho with the stunner. He stands tall, but it's not the end Raw. Triple H comes out and attacks him, putting Austin down, standing tall as champion of, probably first of many times. Not standing over Stone Cold, but standing as champion and the show. 91 rating. Alright, so next episode's going to be 199. That's crazy. I'm sorry, I can't talk when I type. Now let's just go, oh, you know what? I'm not going to change that. I think WCW has a chance. Alright, I'll talk. In the closest time since I've been on this roll, Nitro had it. Wow, this is so close. We beat Nitro once again, so let's change it before we go into that. 94, almost 100 victories over Nitro. It's crazy. Alright, so let's start at the bottom. Okay, I keep forgetting this tag team. Wow. Scott Hall defeated Bobby Eaton in the 88 rating match. They must have good chemistry. That's just my guess. Before that, we had Bret Hart and Scott Hall in a skit. Very low rating. I'm assuming it was it was low time. Following that, brawl involving Ric Flair and Kevin Nash. Hoovy cuts a promo, then wins. Someone noticed that when guys like cut a promo before a match, they win. But if you look later, that's wrong. Following that, we see confrontation with Sting and Hulk Hogan, 94 rating, huge rating. Lex Luger versus Chuck Palumbo, solid match. Rick Steiner cutting a promo and defeating Chris Kanyon. And then Hogan and Vader versus Giant and the Sting. Now it's an interesting tag team match you look at. You got the Giant and the Vader, pretty parallel guys. Vader, huge monster. The Giant, huge monster. Hulk Hogan, charisma personified. Sting, charisma personified. But this time, I'm assuming Sting, Giant, the good guys, take the victory. Vader and WCW has been on a hell of a run. I think I'm actually going to look at it just out of my own interest and record it with you guys. WCW once again pulling strong, so let's see. Alright, so first things first, we see ECW offer a contract to Shane Helms. Shane Helms, a rookie in All Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm going to change that whenever I feel like signing him, just because that's crap. He's obviously going to want to get WWE. Very flashy, very good, and very good in-ring guy, actually. Very good aerial, high flyer, very good in-ring guy besides his psychology. And his selling is pretty low, but overall that's pretty damn solid. Microphone work needs help. That can help, but solid. Has the bases there. Really, I plan on doing, bringing Shane Helms in. I was thinking about doing 3 count stuff, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm curious to see where Shane Helms and what I do with him down the line. I think he's the guy I bring in after WrestleMania 18, or I have in developmental. The Godfather's unhappy with how I've been using him. Too bad. Another solid rating. Bradshaw's natural talk, but worth giving promo at time. Let's look at Bradshaw. Let's look at time, actually. Alright, 12 minutes, that's fine with me. 67 microphone, that's done not bad. I want to get it up to like an 80 before I give him his big main event run. And that will happen after Ministry, him, Farouk. More promo time between the two of them. He's not the most over guy right now, but he's still pretty damn good. Alright, The Rock has a promo, Mark Henry. He can make us a ton of money in the future. No. I found it interesting that Mark Henry and Bradshaw are guys I'm grooming for the future, and I think that's apparent here. Pretty solid in the ring overall. 74, 76, 80. Selling low, but for a big man, it's pretty high. I mean, it's for what it is. Probably an average of 75, 76, 77 of in-ring stuff. His brawling's pretty good. His mic skills are about where I want him to be. Decent star quality. Very menacing. His popularity's good. I'm happy with where Mark Henry's again. Triple H. Matt Hardy's going to be a star, worth opinion. He's worth pushing hard. That's... Matt Hardy he was like the steak to the Hardy Boys, and Jeff was the sizzle. Like, he was the star. Matt was the one who had all the substance, if that makes sense. Pretty solid all around. Good in-ring guy. Psychology needs help, and that will get better as him and Jeff move up in the tag division, start facing older guys. They were facing Edge and Christian, younger guys, and they start facing, I would put the Dudley Boys, the Acolytes, facing the Marvelous Ones. The Marvelous Ones are probably the best in-ring tags I have. Definitely Mike Barton. Solid microphone and charisma work. Alright, so I said I'm looking at Vader, so I'm going to pull that up, and then I'll talk. So we're looking at Vader's, overall stuff. His in-ring stuff has left to be desired. I think maybe he's old, and he's just going down in his skills. No, no, he's actually gotten better. It's pretty crazy. But overall, you look at Vader there. He's actually, you know what? Press the wrong thing. You look at it. He's pretty damn. He's best brawler in the game. Good charisma, good star quality, very menacing. But you look at his top 10 matches. Yeah, it just doesn't click. Like he had Eel Skipper, Hugh Morris. That's just crazy. Yeah. I don't know, I thought it was just interesting to look at Vader and his stats. Let's look at his match history. 9 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, 84 average. That's like where Eddie Guerrero is. But Vader's had better matches than Eddie. Yeah. I'm gonna cover all that, each guy's, oopsies. I'm gonna cover each guy's, what's called match ratings, top 5 and stuff like that when, end of the year show. I'm looking forward to doing that. It's one of my favorite shows to do. That, the Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania are my 3 favorite. Well, for that, that's this episode. See, it was a little bit longer because of the SmackDown thing. I'm just in a talkative mood. Talk to you guys next time.